Not every rifle is worth owning, no matter how enticing the price or reputation may seem. Some guns come with serious safety flaws, unreliable mechanisms, or maintenance nightmares that make them more trouble than they're worth. In this video, we're covering 8 rifles you should steer clear of, whether due to poor engineering, manufacturing shortcuts, or dangerous misfires. We'll break down exactly why these firearms fail to live up to expectations and why they're not the smart buy they appear to be. Before we dive in, we just want to say a huge thank you for all the continued support. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button so we can keep bringing you more firearm-related content. Now, let's get into it. Ruger Model 44 Deerstalker. At first glance, the Ruger Model 44 Deerstalker might seem like a great deal, especially if you find one at a reasonable price. It's a compact, semi-automatic carbine introduced in 1961, chambered in .44 Magnum. On paper, it checks all the right boxes for a close-range hunting rifle: lightweight, maneuverable, and gas-operated for smooth cycling. Shooters report it handles well and delivers roughly 3-inch groups at 100 yards, which isn't bad for a vintage semi-auto. However, problems surfaced almost immediately after its release. First off, the name Deerstalker was already trademarked by Ithaca for a slug gun, forcing Ruger to rename it. But the real trouble came from its gas system. Firing lead bullets can quickly clog the gas port, significantly affecting reliability unless meticulously cleaned. The rifle also struggles with weaker loads, requiring full-power jacketed .44 Magnum rounds to cycle properly, limiting ammo flexibility. Things get worse when you look at the tubular magazine. It tends to collect grime and residue, and since it isn't fully user-serviceable, cleaning is a hassle. But the biggest flaw? The aluminum trigger housing is prone to cracking over time. Once that happens, there's no easy or cost-effective fix. Your rifle is essentially done. While some enthusiasts still modify and experiment with these carbines, they're far from an ideal choice for a dependable .44 Magnum rifle. If you're not ready for constant maintenance and the risk of a structural failure, it's best to look elsewhere. Remington 700 pre-2014. The Remington 700 is arguably one of the most popular bolt-action rifles in the US, if not the world. Launched in the early 1960s as an evolution of earlier Remington bolt guns, it's been chambered in nearly every major caliber. It's a go-to for hunters, and its military variants like the M24 and M40 have served snipers across various branches. The rifle's action is well regarded for its strength and accuracy, making it a staple in long-range shooting. But there's a significant problem. Remington 700s produced before 2014 may have a critical trigger defect that can cause unintended discharges. In some cases, disengaging the safety can fire the rifle without any trigger pull. This isn't just speculation, it was a documented issue that led to lawsuits, injuries, and even fatalities. The controversy forced Remington to issue a massive recall and replace millions of defective triggers. Some argue that only a small percentage of these rifles experience the issue, but when it comes to safety, rare isn't reassuring. If you own or are considering buying a Remington 700, check the trigger assembly. A small V marking indicates it has been upgraded. If not, replacing the trigger with a reliable aftermarket option like a Timney is a wise move. Remington has denied that the trigger was inherently faulty, but the legal battles over this defect contributed to the company's financial struggles. It's unfortunate because the 700's action is renowned for its precision, and its widespread use by military and law enforcement snipers speaks to its capabilities. If you already own a pre-2014 model, Don't panic, just ensure the trigger has been updated. And if you're shopping for a used one, assume you'll need to replace the trigger unless there's solid proof the recall work was done. When it comes to a rifle with a history of accidental discharges, it's always better to be safe than sorry. Winchester Model 94, Post 1964. Few rifles are as iconic as the Winchester Model 94, a lever-action classic dating back to the late 1800s. Known as the ultimate deer rifle, it's lightweight, fast handling, and ideal for hunting medium game. However, not all Model 94s are created equal, and the ones made after 1964 come with some serious drawbacks. In an effort to cut production costs, Winchester started using stamped metal and powdered metal parts instead of traditional machined steel. The receiver metal was also changed, making it difficult to apply the signature deep bluing, resulting in a strange purplish hue on some rifles. These changes not only hurt the rifle's appearance, but also led to durability concerns. The stamped components were prone to bending or causing mechanical issues, and the wood quality wasn't what it used to be. Pre-1964, Model 94s were known for their solid construction and superior craftsmanship, while the post-64 versions left many gun owners disappointed. Winchester made efforts to improve things in the 70s and 80s by reintroducing some machined parts and refining the finish. They also introduced angle eject models to make scope mounting easier. While these improvements helped, the older models remained far more desirable. If you're set on getting a Model 94, look for one made before 1964, or, at the very least, inspect a newer one closely to ensure it meets your standards. While some later versions are decent, they often feel cheaper in comparison, which is why collectors tend to pass them up. Century Arms C39 V2. If you're considering an American-made AK-style rifle, you might hear about the Century Arms C39 V2. Some casual shooters may even recommend it, but once you look deeper, you'll find serious reliability issues that make this rifle a poor choice. Unlike traditional AKs, which use forged components for durability, the C39 V2 is built with cast parts. This manufacturing shortcut significantly weakens the rifle. Testing has shown that the receiver can develop cracks around the locking lugs after relatively few rounds, sometimes as early as a few thousand shots. When those fractures appear, continuing to shoot becomes dangerous, and that's a major red flag for a platform that's supposed to be known for ruggedness. Another major issue is inconsistent machining tolerances, leading to headspace problems that worsen over time. Some rifles fail no-go gauges much earlier than expected, and if the headspace drifts too far out of spec, you could be looking at a catastrophic failure. Additionally, the wooden furniture tends to be low quality, loosening over time, while some rifles suffer from mismatched metal components that wear unevenly. A solid AK-style rifle should be a dependable, all-purpose workhorse, but the C39 V2 simply doesn't live up to that standard. If you're in the market for a reliable AK, there are much better options in the same price range. Consider a Zastava or a Romanian imported model instead. Both offer superior durability and performance. The C39 V2 body track record makes it a risky purchase, and I'd strongly advise against it. Savage Model 340. The Savage Model 340 was introduced as an affordable bolt-action rifle, originally selling for around $60 a bargain even in its time. Production continued until 1985. And while it served as an entry-level centerfire rifle for many shooters, it was never known for high quality. Right away, you'll notice it was built with cost-cutting in mind. Most parts are stamped or riveted, The finish is minimal at best. And early models didn't even have serial numbers since they weren't required before 1968. The rifle's construction leaves a lot to be desired. A single barrel band holds the entire barreled action in place, and since the receiver is open on top, scopes have to be side-mounted. The trigger is notoriously rough, with little room for improvement. The detachable magazine is made of thin pot metal, meaning the feed lips are prone to bending. The weak extractor can sometimes struggle to eject spent casings, requiring some fiddling with the bolt. Interestingly, the Savage Model 340 has gained a following among collectors, particularly in certain calibers. A well-preserved example can sell for several $100s or even exceed $1,000 in some cases. If you're looking for a vintage bolt-action rifle to tinker with, it could be a fun project. But if reliability is your priority, plenty of modern rifles offer a much smoother shooting experience without the quirks and compromises. Winchester Model 100. The Winchester Model 100 might seem like a good deal if you find one for $300 or less. But looks can be deceiving. Introduced in 1961 during a period when Winchester was struggling with quality control, this semi-automatic rifle had a stylish, streamlined design that still catches the eye. However, once you start shooting it, the flaws become obvious. The trigger is one of the most common complaints: heavy, mushy, and nearly impossible to improve. Accuracy is another weak point, as the stock design makes proper bedding difficult, and finding ammunition that groups well can feel like a game of chance. The rifle also has a reputation for inconsistent feeding, which can turn an already frustrating experience into an outright headache. The biggest issue, though, is safety. In 1990, a major recall was issued due to a defective firing pin that could jam in place, leading to dangerous slam fires. If the bolt wasn't fully locked, the rifle could discharge unexpectedly, an obvious and serious hazard. Winchester discontinued the Model 100 in 1973, likely due to ongoing reliability complaints and the poor accuracy reports. Some enthusiasts insist the Model 100 can be made reliable with the right tweaks. But with so many other semi-auto hunting rifles on the market that don't require that kind of effort, why bother? Unless you're a die-hard Winchester fan and don't mind dealing with potential mechanical issues, this is one rifle best left alone. And there you have it, 6 rifles you're better off avoiding. Whether it's reliability issues, poor craftsmanship, or serious safety concerns, each one has a flaw that makes it a risky buy. Some might look appealing due to their history or price, but there's a good reason they've made this list. Which rifle surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon so you never miss out on more content like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.